recently got bit by the hunting itch and I really want to get back into hunting. And while I'm not there just yet, I figured why not make some hunting designs, some hunting flags in the meantime. And in this video, I want to share with you how easy it is to batch out your designs. So if this is something that interests you, you're going to want to stick around. Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Edgar with the 8 Timber Pine, and like I said, I am binge watching hunting right now. I'm binge watching with my boys, and we're really getting into it, and we want to start off with predator hunting, some coyote hunting. So if you're in the Bay Area in Northern California, and this is something that you do, and you got some hookups with some farmers, some land, let me know if you wouldn't mind sharing that. I know once you got your spot, I get it, you don't want to share it, I totally understand, no worries. We're slowly going to get into it anyways. In this video, we're going to be focusing on creating the hunting flags, and I want to show you how fast and easy it is to batch out your designs once you got the hang of it. I'll be knocking out 4 flags with you and show you step by step how I was able to achieve it. If you want to pick up these flags, they are going to be available on my Etsy account, so go ahead and click on the link in the description below if you want to pick them up. If you want to make them yourself, even better, go ahead and find some designs that you like and go ahead and make your own creations. If you are one of my patrons, I'm just going to give you these files for free. If you're not a patron just yet and you maybe want to consider it, this is one of the perks. I just randomly make stuff every now and then, and I just give it out for you guys if you're a patron. This year in 2024, I really want to emphasize in my videos that the CNC is not that difficult. Creating something with your CNC is not that difficult. And you may be wondering, man, Edgar, I'm just starting out. This is really difficult. Keep at it. Don't give up. Get into the program, whether it's Carbide Create or whatever program that you're using, and start messing around with the program. You're not going to break anything. Secondly, follow one of my videos from start to finish, from the design to the execution, and you'll see it's not that difficult, especially when you realize that you probably have a niche already. You probably have something that you're going to focus in on, whether it's the rustic flags, cutting boards, cribbage boards, spoons, you know, whatever it is, you're going to create that over and over, and it's just rinse and repeat every single time. Sure, you're going to come across projects that you've never done before, and you're going to have to think about how am I going to execute this? But the thing is that you've already got the foundation on how to execute it. You're going to start thinking differently on how to be able to execute whatever it is that you're trying to execute. So like I said, we're going to emphasize on that it's not that difficult. We're going to go ahead and do this over and over and over. And some of my videos may become repetitive, guys, but I got some feedback recently that, Edgar, I've watched a video over and over, and the more that I watched it, the more I got out of it. I got something new out of it. So I'm going to repeat some of these videos again, but maybe just saying it a different way is going to help somebody out there. With that being said, guys, I'm going to get off my high horse now, and I wish you guys a happy 2024. Let's just go ahead and jump into this video. All right, guys, so we're jumping into Carbide Create. These are the 4 flags that we're going to make. The predator hunter, the turkey hunter, the deer hunter, the elk hunter, kind of stating the obvious, I guess. And feel free to, you know, if you buy these or if you want to create your own, go ahead and edit them, edit the text if you want. You have the steps after seeing this video. You're going to have the steps on how to create these yourselves. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. When I start batching stuff out, I like to have my SVG files all ready to go. So for example, I have 4 flags, the 4 SVGs here for the animals, and I've already gone in and messed around with the text size and the font that I like. So I already got it here ready to go, and I'll just have to copy and edit this 4 different times or 3 different times. So go ahead and mess around with some of these things at first, and then you can just kind of bash these things out. Also, I want to mention that here in preparation, I've already created 4 different flags, but the flags have the additional stripe here at the top and at the bottom, and that simply serves to get correct alignment in your carve. So let's go ahead and select one of these, and we're going to go ahead and align it horizontally and vertically, and it'll bring it right to the grid, just like that. And since now we have correct alignment, we have the correct spacing here for the first and last stripe. We're going to go ahead and delete those stripes, and then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and group this again, and we're going to select our first animal, and we're going to select the deer, hold shift and select the flag. We're going to come back here to the align vectors options, and we're going to align horizontally and vertically, and that brings the deer to the center of the flag. And again, I've already resized this accordingly, so you're gonna have to mess around with the sizing to get it how you like, but I already have it to the size that I like. And I'm going to then also make a copy of this text, and I'm going to edit this by double clicking on the text and just updating here deer hunter instead, and then click done, and there we go. What I like to do is I like to start with the text first, because once I have the text set, then I can resize the animal or whatever the image may be to fit within the text already that's been added to the flag. So for example, I have the deer. So for example, I have my text here selected. I'm going to select
the stripe that I want to center it to. So right now everything's highlighted, so I'm going to go ahead and ungroup everything, hold shift and deselect this bottom stripe. I'm going to regroup everything just so I don't lose anything. And then let's go ahead and select Deer Hunter, hold shift and select the stripe, align horizontally and vertically. And now this text is centered to this stripe. With my text now centered to this stripe, we're going to have the stripes go around this text. So we're going to subtract everything that's overlapping. The stripe that's overlapping is going to be subtracted away from the text. And so to do that, we're going to be using the Boolean subtraction. So let's go ahead and select our text. We need to create an offset for the Boolean subtraction to work correctly. We're going to click apply. I like this distance of 0.25 on the outside. And then now I'm going to hold shift and deselect the outermost vectors on both the deer and the hunter text. It now leaves everything else that was created, the offsets that were created on the inside of with the text, that's all still highlighted. So now I could just delete that. I'm now going to come back and select the outermost offset vectors. I'm going to group these. To now do this process, this Boolean process, I need to select the stripe first and hold shift and select the outermost offset vectors. And now I can click on offset, or I'm sorry, now I can click on Boolean subtraction and click OK. And so you can see here that this stripe and this stripe is what I want left over, and these ones on the inside I want to get rid of. But I just want to show you real quick, what if I were to do the offset first and then the stripe? Boolean subtraction again. It deletes the outside stripes. It deletes the stripes that I want to keep. So we want to make sure that we pay attention to the order in which we are selecting things. If it doesn't work the first time, don't worry, just do it the opposite way and see if that works. So we're going to go stripe first and then offset and then Boolean subtraction. Click OK. I like to just simply select, hold shift and then select the ones that I want to keep. Everything else that I want to get rid of is selected, and I'll press delete. And now my text is within these stripes, or this stripe. Now with my text completed, I'm going to select my image, and it's going to be the exact same process. Let's go ahead and select our image. We're going to click on offset, and the distance is still 0.25 on the outside. Click apply. So it's going to create some additional offsets in here on the inside that we don't want. So we're going to click on shift, click on our outermost vector offset. Everything else that we don't want to keep is this red here on the inside. Sometimes you get a lot more. In this case, it was just 2, so we'll just get rid of that. So now what we're going to do is we need to group all the stripes that intersect this offset, this outermost offset vector. So let's go ahead and ungroup these things here. We're going to hold shift and select everything that intersects this outside vector. And that's going to be these stripes here and this star. We can't forget this star. We're going to group those. With those selected now, similar to the stripe, then the text, we're going to do stripes, in this case an additional star. Hold shift, select the offset outermost vector, click on Boolean subtraction, click OK, and that deletes part of this little star here and the stripes as well. And so we just want what's on the outside. We're going to go ahead and click shift or hold shift and deselect all the ones that we want to keep. And then everything that we don't want to keep is highlighted, and we can press delete. And that is how you complete a custom flag really quickly. So from here on out, it's really just rinse and repeat, guys. It's not going to be very difficult, and the more you practice you get, the faster you're going to get. So let's just go ahead and really quickly do that, and let's move on to the next one. I'm going to try to go a little bit faster to show you guys just how fast you can actually go once you do this and have everything kind of set up and prepared. So select our flag, click on align vectors horizontally and vertically. We're now going to ungroup everything. We're going to get rid of our alignment stripes. We're going to select everything and group it. We're going to take our next animal, select it, hold shift, select the flag, align it horizontally and vertically. We're going to take, now we're going to ungroup this last stripe. Keep everything grouped here. Actually, we can ungroup everything, that's fine. Take our text, hold shift, select our stripe. Again, horizontally and vertically alignment, just like that. and this is not an elk, so we need to update this. We're going to select our text, double click, enter, type in turkey, press done. It messes with our alignment now because we added more letters, so we need to keep our text selected, hold shift, align horizontally and vertically. That centers the text to the stripe, just like that. Hold shift and deselect the stripe. Just keep the text selected, click on offset. It still keeps all the offset information from before, 0.25 on the outside direction. Click apply, hold shift, click on the outside offset vectors only, keeping everything else on the inside selected, and we can now delete that. Click on the offset vectors by clicking shift. You can select multiple that way. Now we're going to group those. Now what we're going to do is we're going to select our stripe first, hold shift and select our offset vectors. Click on click on Boolean Subtraction. Press OK. Keep the outer stripes that we want to keep by holding shift and deselecting those. Everything on the inside is still selected red, and we don't want those, so we'll get rid of that. And there you have the text completed. Now we're going to repeat the exact same process for this turkey. Select the image. We're going to click on offset. Everything stays the same, so click apply. In this case, we didn't create any inner red, or we didn't create any additional vector offset, so we're okay here. So now we just got to select our stripes that intersect this turkey, which is this one, that one, this one, this one, and this star. Group those. With them now grouped, you can hold shift and select the outside offset vector, click Boolean Subtraction, click OK. Again, nothing else was created. Oh, look, I missed one right here. So let's go ahead and press Command Z. So since we missed the star, we're going to go ahead and click everything that's grouped, hold shift, and then click on the star that's missing, and we can just regroup these. With those now selected, we're going to hold shift and press on this, or click on this outside vector. Now with our new group selected, we're going to hold shift and click on the outside offset vector, and we're going to click on Boolean Subtraction. Click OK. And now that creates those stripes that go around the turkey and kind of cuts up these stars as well. And that is how you would create that one. Let's go ahead and select everything and group it and move it off to the side. We're going to do the exact same thing again. Select the flag, align it center just like that. Remove the alignment stripes. You want this grouped here when you align everything. Select our elk, hold shift and select our flag, group and align center just like that. We're going to come back here. I didn't grab any more text, so we're going to go ahead and ungroup this just like that. And let's copy this one twice. We're going to update this one to elk. We're going to keep this selected, hold shift and select this bottom stripe. Well, looks like we got to ungroup this, so let's ungroup it. Hold shift, select the text, hold shift, align to the center, just like that. We're going to keep just the text selected, create the offsets, click apply, hold shift and deselect those outermost offset vectors. Everything else we want to get rid of is selected already, so delete that. And then we're going to combine or group these two outside vectors. With those grouped, we're then going to click on the stripe first, hold shift and select those offset vectors, Boolean Subtraction, click OK, and we'll repeat that process of deselecting what we want to keep, and then everything else will be deleted, just like that. Okay, so now with the exact same thing again, select your image, create offset, apply. We'll let the computer program do what it has to do. We'll deselect the outermost vector, press delete to get rid of those ones that we don't want. Now everything that's being intersected or touching the offset vector we need to group. So let's just group all these just to be safe. It's like this star, maybe this star just a little bit. So we'll just group that. If it's not intersecting, it won't do anything. So it doesn't hurt to just add a little bit extra just in case. So with those selected now, we'll hold shift and select the offset vector and press Boolean Subtraction, just like that. And so we're going to hold shift and deselect everything that we want to keep. Just like that, we want to keep these stars. And everything else in here is not necessary, so we'll get rid of those, just like that. Perfect. And then we'll group this, move it off to the side. And we got one more. Select the flag, align horizontally and vertically. Select your image, hold shift, select the flag, align horizontally and vertically. You can see you can achieve the same thing multiple different ways. This time I didn't get rid of the alignment stripes, but that's okay. I'll deselect everything here, just like that. And then we're going to update this text and we're going to do predator. Predator hunter, press done. With the text selected, we're going to hold shift and select the stripe here at the bottom, align horizontally and vertically, keep the text selected, create the offset, hold shift and deselect the outermost offset vectors. Everything else that we want to keep is highlighted, we'll delete that. With those offsets selected, we'll group them, click on the stripe first, hold shift and then the offset vectors, press Boolean Subtraction, just like that. We have our text within the stripe. I'm going to hold shift and deselect the outermost stripe parts, and then everything else on the inside that is still stripe I'm going to get rid of. All right, next thing we do is the exact same thing again for the image here of the coyote. So we're going to do that, select it, we're going to click on offset, apply, select the outermost offset. It's going to delete all this extra stuff that I don't want, just like that. We want to group everything that is intersecting that outermost offset vector. So it's those stripes and this star. With those grouped, we are then going to hold shift and select the outermost offset vector, press Boolean Subtraction, and there you go. You have a flag that goes around this this coyote, and you can see it barely cut this stripe or this star right there. Okay, so just like that, we're going to move these over. And so just for an example of what kind of toolpaths you can use here, and if you caught it, you're going to notice that I need my alignment stripes here before I even complete this or start this. So let's just do that real quick. Since I did move the flag already, I need to get an alignment stripe just to be safe. Let me just put this one here. Select everything, group everything, center everything. Okay, now our flag is centered appropriately. We can ungroup this again, get rid of these ones. And as you know, if you've watched my videos, I like my stars to be carved with a V-carve toolpath. So we're going to group the stars only, and we're going to create a 60-degree V-bit toolpath. Let's delete these. It's going to be a V-carve with the 60-degree V-bit. I'm going to use stock bottom and let the program determine how deep this needs to carve. And so one thing I forgot to do, or one thing that you shouldn't forget to do, is just make sure that you update your material settings. Typically 0.75 is the material that I use. So let's go back to that real quick. Star selected, we're going to go ahead and update our V-carve toolpath, use stock bottom. By doing this, the program will determine how deep it'll carve, so we won't have to worry about that. Everything else now is going to be an advanced V-carve. I like advanced V-carve for these types of flags, so I'm going to go back to toolpaths, use current selection. I'm going to use a 1/8 inch end mill because the turkey is kind of small. So especially at this size, at this example, it's a 12 by 23 or 13 by 23. So it's still on the smaller size. So let's go ahead and just use this default stuff. We can go 0.05. Anything between 0.04 and 0.08, I think you'll be fine. We're just trying to get rid of the stain or the color that's on top of the material. All right, so let's go ahead and show the simulation. And so that is how it would turn out. And this is a good looking carve right there. And so that's how you would carve this flag, guys. And I would do the exact same process on every single one of these. How you want to color it, paint it, stain it is all up to you. That's where you guys can get creative. But this is how you would be able to create your own custom flags and then have an opportunity to create something unique. So guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this quick tutorial on how to batch out some of these cool hunting outdoorsman type of flags. It doesn't necessarily have to be made into a flag. Guys, you guys can create your own custom bar signs, your own family room signs, something that is unique to you guys, but you can use these principles on that. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys on the next video.